Guys, you have no idea what just happened. This is why it took us a little bit longer, because we had to clean up the place, because Nicole just said Beetlejuice 3 times. All went bonkers in here. Right? So, but we're back right now, and we're going to kick off the day talking a little bit about the state of wearables, what just happened in the last couple of years, and what's about to happen. And I have a good friend over here, Achim Hepp. And, well, first of all, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Nice to be back after 1 year.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning, my favorite time.
At 9, that's not too bad, 9:40.
Now it's not too bad, but not when I woke up, like, I don't know, a few hours ago.
That was terrible.
After Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. My alarm went off at like 7:30, and it was just absolutely terrible. Oh my goodness! So wearables at IFA. Did you see anything that is interesting?
Well, actually, I'm impressed by 2 items.
Yeah.
I really like the Samsung Gear 2.
Yeah, me too. I loved it.
First of all, I mean, I don't understand if they put out a smartwatch that doesn't show the time all the time.
Right.
Doesn't make absolutely no sense.
Exactly.
I mean, even some Android watches, but usually when I get the review units, it works sometimes, it works sometimes not.
Right.
So, okay, first of all, then I like the bezel that you can use, which is a nice concept.
Yeah.
It's also a nice differentiator to the Apple Watch with a similar concept. Okay, that's one item. The other item, I think it's the Huawei watch, and only because they have the balls to price it that high.
$399.
Yeah, and up.
You know what? I think Motorola is also in this $299 and up game.
Yeah, but Huawei wants to go up to 800, I think. They said.
Well, we also had an LG Watch Urbane Lux, the gold version, for like $1,500.
Okay, then I take the kudos back from Huawei.
but that is like 20 karat gold.
Okay.
So it is real, even though it doesn't look any different from the one that I have, which is the gold version, right?
Okay.
You know what's interesting about the Samsung watch? I think somehow they kind of copied the idea. There was a Rolex coming out in 2012 that had this rotating bezel, and they used it to set up the time, to set up the date and the time zone and all of this in a pretty smart way. But I think the way Samsung did this is just brand new to this market. Plus, I love Tizen OS on there. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very snappy.
Yeah, and I wonder about the price. I'm pretty sure this will be very, very competitive. At least the sporty version.
Okay, yeah, I assume as well, but usually they have the problem they only go with Samsung devices.
Yeah. You know what? This should be available, or this should be compatible to all Android devices, and watch out, even to the iPhone.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
That's why
I think it's not even a rumor. It is something that is a quite solid,
okay, and that's
solid development.
That's absolutely the way to go. That's why I waited like for a year for the announcement that just came earlier this week or last week that Android Wear will also support the iPhone.
Yeah,
which absolutely makes sense because the market is there.
I mean, it's Tizen, but here's the thing in general. What I like about this is. I don't know. I'm criticizing Apple for so many things, even though that I love their products. I don't like the Apple Watch, by the way.
Me too.
That's just,
I'm on the same page.
I was expecting something cool from Apple.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, last year when we talked,
I
said, okay, we're waiting on the Apple Watch just for the reason that they will create a market.
Yeah,
like they did with the iPad.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have created a market.
Not at all. The iPhone was disruptive. The iPad was disruptive, even though it was just a bigger iPhone. But still, the way we were able to get rid of our laptops and have this huge screen with us. And I thought, in terms of the usability aspect, the Apple Watch would be as disruptive, and it's not at all. I think it's a usability fail with the crown and the way they set up all these apps, the app overview, and I'm missing contextual features. I'm basically missing the killer feature.
Yeah.
Well, what's the killer feature there?
Yeah, no, nothing.
Yeah.
There's no killer feature. That's it.
They couldn't push Apple Pay into the market, at least not on a global scale, at least not even in the US, even though they were announcing we are launching with blah 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 how many providers. It's not really there.
But even that, I mean, it's not a killer feature because it's not like people out there are waiting for a new method to pay for something.
Jesus. I just saw a couple of videos where people were using it to navigate around. In general, the way we're using smartwatches right now. Whenever you watch people using a smartwatch, it just looks hideous. It just looks so unnatural.
Absolutely, and guess what? You don't see many people using a smartwatch. That's a problem. And for me, I'm still not convinced that people actually want smartwatches. I think people want to have some kind of whatever device to get notifications. I think notifications is the best use case for a smartwatch or a wearable or whatever device. Yeah. Because for certain aspect, you don't want to take out the phone or the tablet, which works. But I don't think people want a smartwatch.
It might be different, and I can't wait to see that. It should be... I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. The month in between October and December, at the beginning of that month, we're going to see the Tag Heuer smartwatch. And this might be a little bit of a game changer because for the very first time you have a really iconic watchmaker entering the market. And you know what I like about this? Those guys have... They're thinking about different life cycles, right? If you're buying a Tag Heuer for like $1,500 to $2,000, right? This is something that you're going to wear for the next 10, 20, 30 years, and you might still want to give it away to your kids or something, right? And I know for sure the way they're setting up the operating system and the hardware, that this might be something different. It will have... I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the way we're using smartwatches right now, and this also the kind of software layer that is on top of it. But this might be a game changer because this will be like $1,500 something.
Yeah, but is it mass market?
No,
absolutely.
It's not mass market, and I agree. You know why smartwatches are not mass market? There is no Swatch smartwatch in the market.
Exactly.
And the Swatch was one of the most disruptive things that ever happened to the watch market. There is no Swatch out there.
Yeah. And I guess like for the regular people that buy watches or smartwatches between 100 to 500 euros.
Yeah.
If they buy a watch, even a regular watch, which most of them don't even do nowadays, they buy brands. And for them, like I don't know if they want an LG or a Huawei. They might want an Apple and even a Samsung. But what I think would also make a differentiator for many people, it's if they do some licensing, like license some luxury brands or subpar luxury brands. I mean, they even did it already. Like when LG, like I don't know, a few years ago had a deal with Prada and had a Prada phone, which sucked, but I mean, at least it was a licensing deal.
Right.
So put like, I don't know, Emporio Armani on a watch, price it at 400, and people are more likely to buy it from whoever it is, Huawei or LG or whatever.
Yeah. Can you just zoom in on this? I mean, this is not a super fancy watch. I just got this a couple of months ago, right? This is actually the first Citizen I bought. I'm getting myself a nice little watch each and every year, and this year I wanted to get a classic Formula One from Tag Heuer, and I just bought this one. And I mean, this is like $600 something. So, and it's a solar energy watch, right? You don't need to recharge it at all. And look at this nice little little yellow band, right? It's the Blue Angels. So, and trust me, if we would go on the street and we will hold an Apple Watch next to it, and I'm pretty sure if you ask people, okay, so which one do you want to get? Do you want to get this Apple Watch or do you want to get that one? Most of the people would choose this one.
Absolutely.
It's because just, and by the way, that's another problem. No matter how people want to convince me, but I think the Apple Watch just doesn't look cool.
It looks like a black whatever.
And I was just so close to say, and I'm not sure if this is I'm giving up all my political correctness here,
all right,
but I'm doing that. The Apple Watch looks quite gayish. I'm sorry. Maybe it's waterfalling it down from their CEO. And don't get that wrong. I have so many gay friends out there, right? And this is nothing, and they can take the piss out of themselves, right? They're really good at this. But the design looks very, very feminine.
I'm not sure if I'm on your side, but I mean, at least I'm on your side that it doesn't look good. For me, I always used to say like, it looks like basically they shrink down an iPhone.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how to fit the home button, so they put in the crown.
It is so unfortunate. But it's also still interesting how many they will be able to sell of this. Could you imagine Samsung would come out with something like this? They would have been all over that, right? So what?
Exactly.
That's the game changer award, but it's an Apple product, so it has to be good. And I think they need to. They have to take this criticism and turn it into something interesting. So smartwatches, this market is more or likely a little bit. Even though I think, once again, I think that the Gear S2, it changes a little bit. They're getting it that watches are jewelry. Right, and in terms of design, it is developing and evolving. So it's somehow getting there. But what else is out there? Well, I'm using another wearable.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm tired. I'm like, I walked to IFA, and basically every brand, as big as it is, or as every China, I don't know, whatever small brand has some kind of activity wristband.
Yeah,
and
but that's a huge market.
It's a huge market, but the point is. Everybody has them. They are nowadays cheap.
Yeah.
They do one aspect pretty good. But I don't care. I don't care as long as there is no... remember maybe last year I had the Nike Fuel Band, which I was a big fan of it. And now this year I don't wear any.
As you can tell, I've been wearing this one for quite a while. So this is a Xiaomi Mi Band. It's only like $13, 12 euros. Battery life 10 weeks, and this is where it's really getting interesting. I'm wearing it because of the. I'm not wearing it because of the battery life. Right? I'm just to track your steps and your sleep. Plus, I'm using the alarm functionality in it. It has this vibration alarm in the morning, and it's great to wake up to this compared to an annoying ringtone from your phone. Plus, as soon as you're getting a wearable that lasts longer than a week, but then lasts longer than 2 weeks, or even longer than a month, something changes. Your perspective on this device changes. It becomes part of you.
Okay.
Right? I just don't take it off. Right. As IP68, right? You can take a shower with it, and so therefore.
That's what I used to do with my Nike Fuel Band.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for a week. A week was always my major factor, and the device needs to work for a week. And I used it to shower, didn't take it off, only to charge it on Sunday. But as I said, I don't wear any because like my iPhone tracks all the data.
Yeah.
Like my movement.
Exactly. It does. And everyone has a smartphone. At least most of them. How many watches does the Citizen Watch has? It's only one. Right? And you know what? You can tweak it by just changing the time on it. So, but still, just some feedback from the chat. Fabio is saying, out of all smartwatches, I think I love the Moto 360 and the LG Watch. Mi Band is best.
Let's talk a moment about the Moto 360, the second
new
one.
Yeah.
I had a quick look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it looks the same.
It is exactly the same. Oh, you know what? They kind of changed. I forgot about this. It's not called the hinge in English, right? It just is. Oh God, what's the English name for it? It's just this little part here that connects to your wristband. They changed that.
So now you can use regular bands.
Yes, you can use regular bands, and it's more like a traditional watch, right? So, but I mean, once again, when you have such a watch face, you don't need a different one, in my opinion. It just looks good.
Absolutely.
I'm talking myself into it, into this investment that I made with this watch, right? So
you talk yourself into your next watch already.
Oh, and I'm talking myself into my next watch. That is true. So yeah, fitness trackers, smartwatches. What else is there? I'm not wearing Google Glass anymore. It's done. I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Nobody wants it anyways.
Nobody wants it anyways. What's left? What's left in terms of...
I think what's left, and nobody is like going there, is some kind of device that gives you audio feedback, which you can like maybe clip on if you wear glasses, clip on, or like put a like small device in your ear, which gives you some kind of information. Maybe you hear who's calling, or they will tell you the text message that you just got. Read it.
Are they still in the category of wearables, or are these already hearables?
Yeah, there might be a smart marketing department that can create a new.
I think it will be. I mean, we have this. What's this Bragi Dash from Germany, which had this huge crowdfunding success.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my. Hey guys, this was expensive. What are you doing with my money?
Yeah, send it to him.
No, I think they're actually showcasing it here at IFA, and. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just waiting for the final version of it. I think this kind of the hearable category will be huge. It might be much bigger than any wearable, because it's just so natural to talk to someone.
Yeah, and if they do it smart, it doesn't alter your appearance. You can like wear it like if you wear a tuxedo, you can wear it. Nobody cares. If you go to sport, you can wear it. Nobody cares. Yeah. Because nobody usually can see it if it's a small dot in your ear.
Yeah.
But that's a problem, because then you cannot see it. There's like no differentiator for different brands.
That's one point. The other aspect to this is, this weird problem, especially when you hear girls with long hair talking to one of these.
Yeah.
I always call them ghetto headsets. I don't know. I know that is so wrong. But anyways, when you have these headsets and connected to Bluetooth, and they're talking to someone, you think, they just talk to you, and it creates some weird situations.
Yeah, but we need to get used to it. I mean, we're too old, because we know from when it was before these also were available. Yeah. But people that now coming out of age nowadays, for them it's natural. They don't care.
I think those Bluetooth headsets are gone already.
I hope, but to tell the truth, I see them still around, and yeah, it confuses me, because they're also pretty ugly.
That's kind of scary. Let's check out what's going on in the chat room. Stefan is saying, and finally, the Moto second generation of the Moto 360 ditched the TI SoC. Thank God, right? Best decision in terms of battery life. It should be a huge improvement that Motorola made. And another Stefan, it's all about the Stefan today. Stefan Goldman says, the Galaxy Gear S2 is the first smartwatch that I would love to buy. Could be a little bit bigger, and just hope that it's connecting to the iPhone and just pairs with the iPhone. But trust me, I have a very, 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 very good feeling, like for 98%, that this is going to work with the iPhone. Therefore, we'll see what's going to happen with the Gear S2. Will be available on the market, I think, in October.
Okay.
And I would guess that this has to be the entry level one has to be below $250 in euros. Has to be.
At least you need to go below the Apple price.
Oh yeah, in any way. I think Apple starts with the spot at $399, right?
$395.
Holy shit.
No, $359.
And then I'm getting a wristband that looks like it comes straight out of a chewing gum vendor machine.
Yeah.
Seriously, it looks so sheepish.
Because nobody buys the entry one because of this. So
No. And you know what? Actually, the sport watch is the most successful one. Most of the people are buying this one.
Okay.
Yeah. This is by far, I think, it's like about a 70%
But they buy the bigger
share.
one, right? Usually.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant with
42 millimeters. Yeah.
And then you are at $399.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the cheapest one is the small one, and nobody buys them, even girls.
I'm pretty sure that they can build it like for $40 or $50. That's insane. This industry. But yeah, what's up with smart clothing? Is this also something that fits into the wearable category?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because you wear it. It's clothing.
You know what? You should stay here because I think at 10... Is it at 10 or 10:30? We're going to have someone from Samsung here. Oh, at 11. And they have a smart suit.
A smart suit?
Yeah.
What does it do?
No one was really covering it. It's on their show floor.
Okay.
Right, and it should be quite... I don't know. Nicole is doing that interview. She's all over it. She loves it, and she thinks it's so cool and blah, blah.
So she's into guys with suits?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. No.
Even though it looks more like... I'm not sure if it's a suit or a spandex.
I mean,
spandex would be kind of weird.
It's even stranger if she's into guys that wear spandex.
So, yes, smart clothing. It's same. Huh? It's evolving. It's developing.
Yeah, but also there are some crazy and stupid stuff. Like last week I read, and actually I think I wrote a post that I published today about a jacket that has a payment method built in.
Yeah.
And they sell it in their store for €250, which is an okay price for a jacket.
Yeah.
But who wants it?
And you know what? The biggest problem is that when you're building a smart cloth with this kind of one-purpose feature, right, that you only use once in a while.
Yeah.
If I only use it once in a while, I can still do this with my smartphone, right? It just makes no sense.
Absolutely, and you change your jacket.
Right.
You don't wear one jacket all the time. So you expect to buy several from the same brand?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No, I agree.
And many of these smart wear clothing stuff goes into the same direction where I always think, okay, it's nice as a showcase that it can be done, but you cannot really expect customers to buy it. I'm
100% confident the very first smart clothing category will be this: smart shoes.
Smart shoes, in regular shoes or fitness shoes?
Doesn't matter. But to get a little sensor into a regular shoe or into a smart shoe would make you get rid of this.
Okay, which we basically had with Nike Plus.
Right. So that's going to happen. Achim, we have to switch over to the next slot. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, even though it's an early Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And
that's my favorite time. I always come in.
I hear you. I know that.
Next year, I want a prime time slot.
Guys, so our next guest is going to be from LG, and it's Herbert Schönebeck, and we're going to talk about, I think there's some new announcement from LG coming up, but they also had some announcements over here. We have a 5 minutes break. Going to show you something, I don't know, hands-on, something from the show floor, something tech, and then we're going to be back very, very soon. So bear with us. And here we are again. It's the third day of IFA 2015. We're in hall 16. It's slowly filling up. I mean, it's a Sunday morning. It's 10 in the morning, and it started to rain. While we had amazing weather on Monday, where I was actually really missing my ACs that I have. I have like 3 ACs in Taipei in my apartment, so I'm just not used to this anymore, to the weather over here. And now it just got cold. We just got straight from the summer into the autumn in just like 2 or 3 days. At least it's not an open air show, so we're sitting here in our studio, we're pretty safe. Guys, we're going to talk a little bit about consumer electronics. Of course we're going to talk about consumer electronics because we're at the biggest publicly available consumer electronics show in the world, which is the IFA here in Berlin, and which is also the most important one for the industry because this is right before the Christmas season is about to start. And I'm very, very happy to talk to Herbert Schönebeck. He is Vice President for Consumer Electronics at LG Electronics. Now, I know I said like 3 times electronics in one sentence. That's amazing. Herbert, good morning.
Yeah, good morning from my side, Sascha.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on an early Sunday morning. I know that is sometimes a little bit rough because this show is, it's a little bit exhausting after a while.
Kind of exhausting, but being in sales, I know this kind of feeling, and I'm looking forward to the end. But now I'm looking really forward to talk to press, to customers, and also thank you for having me here.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. We've already had your Director of Corporate Communications over here, Ken Holm, that I know for ages, and we've been talking a lot about products, but more of the traditional product, what's going on in the mobile space, like your new smartwatches. I mean, the special gold version that you have right now. We've been talking about the LG G4, which is still one of my favorite phones that is out there. But I think a lot of people don't really know how much of a portfolio you guys have, right? It's not only about the mobile devices. You're also one of the leading developers when it comes to display technology, and this is something that we need to address.
Right, I think people always forget if they talk about LG, most end customers, they only knew the product, but as a matter of fact, we have LG Chemicals, we have LG Displays, and we have LG Electronics. And for us as LG Electronics, those 2 sisters like LG Chemicals and LG Displays is a really superior benefit to have them in our company, because if you talk about TV later on, you will see there are some really basic technology which are developed and created by them, and at the end they are ending up in a product which have a benefit for the end customer. And so LG is really great and very widespread in terms of technology.
It's also quite interesting how your different divisions are working together and new products are coming out of this. Are one of the leading companies when it comes to the development of OLED technology, which is of course also waterfalling down to your mobile devices.
Right, OLED. OLED for me, I'm responsible for consumer electronics. TV is the most important part, but as you say, it's mobile devices, tablet, but also we have seen some kind of rolling models for car industry that they have in the display in the car already on OLED technology. So OLED is a breaking new technology which will be in many different consumer products in the future. And as I said, one of the main usage is TV.
Yeah, and you have a massive booth over here each and every year at IFA. No, it's not a booth, it's a hall. Right. There's one huge hall belonging to LG, right?
It's getting bigger and bigger. We need that space to show all our new products, as a matter of fact. So really, this time we are in hall 18 and everything is full. Everything is crowded in the afternoon because so many products, so much technology.
Yeah. I mean, IFA in general, it's a little bit of a different show. For example, if you compare this to CES, first of all, the public can get in here, which also gives you guys the chance to talk to your potential customers, face to face, to actually see their reactions on your products. What's the most exciting product here in our hall? But also, it's been a show for ages that was also showcasing what's happening in the home appliance market, what's happening also for companies like you guys, happening with smart homes in the future. And you have a huge portfolio there.
Right, you're saying, IFA has developed over decades now, and now we are talking not longer about only brown goods, we are talking about smart home, connected devices, home appliances, as you said. Everything is working together in a household, and that's why people are coming. Everybody has a washing machine at home, everybody has a TV at home, but now the question is, what is coming in future? What do I need to prepare my household for? And that's why people are so much interested in this IFA. We always have a lot of customer frequency, and yes, people like it.
You know what? This is, I don't know, I think it's like my 10th IFA or so. Like at the beginning, I was just rushing through the halls from the south entrance, right, with all these home appliances, because he wasn't interested for me, right? And now those are the halls where I'm just telling and recommending them. That, you know what, if you want to see some disruptive technology, some technology that will change your everyday life, because you already have your smartphone, you might already have your smart TV, right? But now let's see how technology is going to invade your kitchen, it's going to invade your bathroom, your bedroom, and all of this, right? And just check it out. And what I love about this is also where you can see some very, very traditional brands now also making this transformation, a transformation that you guys were already doing for ages, right?
Right, as you say, because all people are having a smartphone. And now the question is, how do I connect this device, which I have always with me, to my devices, to my washing machine, to my heating at home, to my TV, to my music. Music, as you know, is one of the key usage of the smartphone. And also we are having nice products in the CE industry with connected music, multi-room systems. So from that perspective, that's what people are interested in. They are looking for the latest trend. And at the end, for us important, we have also our dealers. And now we make it accessible to the end customer, showing technology, and later they see the same in the store and they can purchase.
Yeah. So what would you say, what is the coolest thing so far that you are showcasing here in your hall? I mean, you should have a little bit of a feeling of, is it more that the audience over here is going after home appliances? Is TV still, I mean, you guys have this amazing, they're curved, they're huge, they're flat, they're thin, plus, once again, with your OLED technology, if you guys have the chance to check it out, right, whether it's going to be at your retailer, whether you can join us over here at IFA, you know what, just do that. Check out the color saturation of a nice, beautiful 4K OLED TV. Check out the viewing angles, check out the brightness. It is like out of this world. So is this still something, that this is creating the wow factor, or is it something else?
Absolutely. I think you have put it in the right words, so I couldn't have expressed it better. OLED technology is really something people should have a look at. So OLED is a new display technology. Everybody's talking about OLED. Correctly, it would be said OLED. LED is what the people knows from the past. O stands for organic LED, and this is a self-illuminating pixel. And this self-illuminating pixel means it can be switched off. And that is a basis for the next step and next innovation in TV technology. If it's switched off, we have a perfect black. And this perfect black is a basis actually for having the most brilliant colors, the most perfect colors, the most natural colors people can see on TV. And that's something I can't express in words. People should see it at our booth. We have some specific areas with a black wall, black TV, and this black basis, and then the colors, it's really marvelous.
Actually, black is a really, really good key point and keyword for this, because a lot of people are underestimating how important black is. And if you compare this to a traditional LCD display, you think, you know what they sold me as black has never been black before if you compare this to an OLED, right? It is just absolutely, especially, if you're watching the intro sequence of Star Wars, you know why you want to have an OLED TV.
Absolutely right. The eyes from human being, they are very failure tolerant. So basically, they are accepting kind of compromises in terms of color, in terms of gray. But if you Google a so-called Barthelson-Brenneman effect, you will see there is a nice picture. There are different gray shades in the background, and then you have always the same white colors in the front, and you see the eye all of a sudden sees the same white area with different colors depending on the background. And that's how TV is working. TV is giving us a certain impression about a picture, which we know from the nature, but because of the background is not as is in the nature, it's a kind of fade or a little different, the colors are looking different. And that's what OLED changes in future. This is a new technology, and based on that technology, the picture quality will kind of really have a revolutionary development. Since this year, we are also able to deliver 4K OLED. We have OLED in the market since about 1.5, 2 years. 2K, but now we have 4K, and this is I never seen a picture like this, and all the press, all the testing, they are really saying the best picture ever they have seen on TV.
Just to make sure, if you guys have any questions towards Herbert and of course their portfolio and the products, feel free to ask them in the chat. Just some statements here. Oliver is saying, great platforms. Most of my displays in my house are displays, TVs are from LG, absolutely love them. And another one is saying, Hannes is saying, next one will be an LG OLED TV as soon as the price dropped below 3,000 euros, I guess for the 4K, right? And then you're gonna get a good one, trust me. So we're getting quite some feedback on this, and if you have once again any questions, please let us know. So the OLED technology, we're just quite interested because right now we mainly see them in TVs. We have them on your smartphones and on some tablets. But you mentioned already you're talking to the automotive industry, right, to work on this, to get them into kind of embedded into the interior of a car for the dashboard or for whatnot. But OLED, is this also something that you're looking into to integrate into your home appliances? Could it be a part of a little screen in a fridge, in a washing machine? I mean,
basically, yes. The answer can only be yes. OLED as a technology has infinite possibilities to be integrated. One of the key advantages is OLED has everything in one layer. So I have seen technology samples where OLED is just a thin film technology. You can put it at your wall like a foil.
Right.
You almost see no depths, and you can bend it somewhat around the corner. So like as I said, in the car where you always have curves, you never have straight plain areas, and all this kind of geometries or also design areas can be now explored by the new panel technology.
We saw it already with your first LG, the G Flex smartphone, so flexible OLED display. And this is a question that Oliver was asking in the chat right now, if you're going to see this in smartphones. Yes, LG is using OLED displays already in smartphone, also with the new the G4, even the G3, even the G2. Was using an OLED display, so it's around. And once again, when you look at the reviews that we did from the G2, G3 to the G4 line, when we're talking about the display, that those are one of the best ones that are available on the market, and just shows you what a fundamental technology can do to a whole product line, not only a product line that is in one category, whether it's smartphones or tablets, but also, like you said, it's on TVs, it's going to get into cars, it's going to get onto everything, because it is such a versatile technology that you developed over there.
Absolutely. But coming back to the TV, I think the most impressive, now we're talking about technology, about utilization of technology. I think at the end, consumers are not purchasing a product because of technology. Some might be because this is technology nerd, but most people are buying a product because they are looking for the advantages. And that's something where I believe we have to emphasize again, this picture quality, this infinity contrast, and the enormous speed because of the short reaction time of the pixel. We are going down to 1,000th of a second reaction time. So that makes this technology the future technology for TV, for the high-end TV, and later coming down also, because you have raised the question about price point. We are close to that already now with the introduction of our latest product, and the new one will go beyond this kind of price point, and therefore it will be accessible for mainstream purchases in the TV area.
Yeah. So one question in the chat again. about HDR and OLED. Just to make that crystal clear, well, HDR is a post-processing technology for images. So there's a camera shooting at least two images with different brightness layers and with different exposures, and then just combining the best of it. Of course, each and every OLED TV can show you this image, right? It's just basically what's getting out of there, and how the image that you just shot, the picture, will just show up. So has nothing to do with the OLED technology at all. But just to clear that up, unfortunately, I don't have an OLED display on my laptop. Well, it's also not an LG laptop. I'm sorry, but one of the OEMs that is using an OLED technology. I'm pretty sure that this is the only LCD that I'm using. Besides that, I'm also only using OLED displays, especially on my smartphones. I have a G4. Okay, I don't have a smartwatch on me right now, but you also, that is an OLED display on your G-Watch R here. I have an Urbane with me, so okay, I even have a smartwatch with an OLED display. But the first time I saw an OLED display, I seriously said, you know what, I can never go back anymore. That's it. It is on a different level. As soon as you drank the Kool-Aid of the color saturation and also all the viewing angles and everything and the brightness of it, that was just pretty amazing, and I'm really loving it. Besides that, let's talk a little bit about home appliances, Herbert. When it comes to the smart home, to the smart kitchen, to the smart bathroom, is there anything new that LG is in? Actually, I told Ken, do you have some new washing machines? Because I'm on the road for the last 2 weeks, so I'm just going to come over and do a live review over there. Bring some laundry with me.
We are one of the main suppliers of wash dryers. So that's something, a combination of washing machine and dryers. Yeah. That's where LG is specifically strong in. And yes, that's something where we have nice products, new products. Still home appliance, connectivity is one of the very new parts, but one of the main parts, which is the customer benefit, is efficiency, currency consumption, 8++ class, and so forth. And here we are kind of leading. We have a lot of different technology in terms of making main washing, main laundry processes very short, below 1 hour. Yeah. So that are the things which we are talking about.
You know what? And this is going to be our next frontier, because we are moving offices by the end of the year. And what we're going to do is we're actually combining an office with an apartment, because we truly believe that, it's not about believing, it's about knowing, and everyone should know that. There will be so many interesting devices and products coming out into this home appliances market that we just need to make sure that we have a bathroom available, a living room, and a kitchen and a bedroom where we can film and where we can do reviews and where we can review products. And especially, wash dryers, that sounds amazing. I love that, right? Because I still have a top loader, and it's actually on my balcony. Because that's very typical in Taiwan. Right? You have a washing machine on your balcony, and actually it broke like about a year ago, and I was just so lazy to get a new one that I'm just always going to the laundromat, right, just around the corner. But we're working on this, and we'll try out some new products there. Do you have the chance to actually walk the show floor here at IFA, just to walk through the halls a little bit, or do they lock you up on your hall 18?
Typically for sales, the agenda is, the first 3-4 days completely busy, completely scheduled every minute. But the last 2 days, I might get a chance to see some other products.
Which is always good, right? Just to spy a little bit around what other competitors doing. And
we're we're getting all this information on paperwork. I know all the products specification, but seeing the design and all the things is really
and
you get
touching them,
right.
see the build quality,
you are
how
more
they
really solid in talking about it rather than just have the Excel or PowerPoint presentation.
No, I totally agree with you. They won't let me out here until tomorrow, but I have to go to Frankfurt tomorrow for half a day. But on Tuesday, you know what? I will just hit the show floor. I won't do any video or whatnot. I will take some pictures of some interesting products, but I also want to see how the halls look like, how the theme is of the different companies. It also gives you a little bit of an idea about how they position themselves.
Absolutely, that is a story. Products is one thing, but the story a vendor wants to address to the end customer. That's a very interesting thing. Yeah,
I want to see colors, right? What is their position right now, and how they combine those different products? Because once again, I mean, IFA is a very, very unique show, and you guys been here for years.
Absolutely. Right? I don't know exactly, but as you say, for years LG is here and always representing with a big booth.
Herbert, thank you so much for joining us here in our TechLounge studio, and I hope you have a not so stressful Sunday, because usually the Sundays here are packed. You're gonna love it.
I love fairs, and I love to be here, so it's no stress.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
That is the attitude that we need. Guys, we're gonna have a little break right now, and then we're gonna switch over to Nicole, because she's about to do our live booth tour. We're here in Hall 16, pretty cool booth that Intel set up again, and she has a camera with her, and she's gonna show you around. Give us, let's say, some 3 to 5 minutes to set everything up, and then we're going to be back. I will stay here in the studio. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. So bear with us, and I'll see you in a bit.
This Mobilegeeks video is powered by ASUS.
Hey, I'm Roland with Mobilegeeks right here at the Intel press conference at IFA 2015. And what we have right here is not a Surface Pro 3, but a Lenovo Meeks 700. So it's part of the IdeaPad range, and it's supposedly pretty much the same concept as the Surface, and it also is the same size as the Surface Pro 3. So it's a 12-inch panel on here, and in a form factor of 3 to 2 display ratio, so it's got this little offset or untypical display ratio. It's a pretty interesting device because it's based on the new Intel Core M Skylake-based SoCs. The screen is again 12 inches and it's got a resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels. Seems like an IPS panel. We don't know anything about if there is a stylus for it. My guess would be, yeah, there should be models of this device, including a pen. But let's take a quick look at the specs right here. We have let me get this PC menu up. So we have an SSD in here that is 256 gigabytes. And if I open up the system menu, I can show you the new Intel Core M56Y54. So that's one of the new Skylake SoCs. Base frequency is 1.1 gigahertz or 1.5 gigahertz, and it probably clocks up to just over 2 gigahertz in this case. I don't know the specs of the Skylake SoCs from my head right now. It's got 4 gigs of RAM. There's probably models with up to 8 gigabytes depending on what you choose. And the concept, as I said, is pretty much the same as the Surface. So you get this keyboard that just folds onto it, and it's also got magnets down here, so you can use 2 different settings. So if you want to tilt up the keyboard a little, you can just make it stick to there with those magnets. I'm going to take this off to show you the docking mechanism. So it's also the same as the Surface. You get this magnetic strip plus a bunch of pins up there that connect through USB, my guess would be. And if I turn the device around, you can see that we have the corresponding magnets on both sides right here, and you also get those contacts right there. Up here we have a micro SD card slot. And if you look at the hinge, you can see that Lenovo is now starting to use their watch band hinge that they introduced with the Yoga 3 Pro last year, and puts them on this Surface lookalike device to give you a free range stand on this device. So that's pretty interesting. So you can put it up in a lot of different angles. It doesn't fold further back than this, so there will probably be some people that might break this if you put too much pressure on it. Let's fold it down and give you a quick tour around. Let's start out on the front. You can just get a regular webcam on here. As far as I can tell from looking at it, the bezel seems pretty wide, but you also want to be able to hold this Weight-wise, it should be just under 1 kilogram in this case because the surface also weighs in at 900 grams as far as I know. Let's take a quick tour around. So here we have the power plug that is typically Yoga style or Lenovo style. I introduced that with the last year's Yoga 3 Pro, so this also doubles as a USB port of the full size, so you actually get 2 full-size USB ports on here. This is the watch band hinge, and we have 1 speaker here, and this is where you actually open up the stand. On the bottom, again, those contacts, and on the right side, you'll end up with another grip for the stand, another speaker, plus the watch band hinge, and a full-size USB 3 port, super speed, plus a micro HDMI port, and your volume rocker, and the power button. On top, we got the headset jack, plus